I think this is probably the most topical, is the real-time proxy detection and blocking. This is something, if you've been paying attention to the market, you'll know we're not the first ones to do it. A lot of these technologies are really, really exciting, but one of the things that we've been seeing, and this happened with image blurring as well, is that the initial effect, when especially if you're using artificial intelligence or things like that to try to let's call it kind of what it is, on-the-fly content categorization on the device with some local Chromebook capable model, right? There's a huge false positive problem. Even the best ones out there, we're seeing stats like even the most modern recently released are around like in the 75-ish% accuracy. And that sounds decent, but then you think about, okay, well that means what, 25% of false positives? Like that's a scary thing. And so we did obviously with our image blurring, we released that with the ability to turn it off for specific categories because we know that there's times and places that that's going to be disruptive. And of course, when you combine that with our custom categorization, that gives you a little bit more granular control there as well. But the real-time proxy one is interesting because one of the big challenges that we're seeing is kids doing things like creating legitimate looking education sites, getting them into education, and then turning them into proxies. And then what happens then is that if you've turned off proxy detection on your education categories to prevent false positives, it's kind of starts to defeat the point. And so the direction that we tried to go with this is that rather than doing like AI based on the fly content categorization or text classification. I know there's been some recent conversation in the market about that. Is we're trying to look for the actual signals in the JavaScript and in the page setup, right? You think about when you initialize a proxy in a browser in a web page, there are different headers and different elements and things that have to be set up and configured for that to work just intrinsically. And so we're trying to look for those signs, right? And that way, our goal is to be able to not only be very effective at stopping the proxies, but really try to cut down that false positive rate. So that way it's something that you can have on always. So it's a pretty exciting thing. It's something we're working on. I can say it's coming soon. I can't give a full date because we're still tuning it and implementing it as we go. But I will say that we have definitely it is something we're very excited to get out there as soon as we can. And it's been pretty cool to see in action.
I seen a quick demo of it. I think it's really cool. And I think I just want to, as we move to the next one, just underscore one point there as we flow through. So a website that has already been categorized by our significant database as being a potential cybersecurity threat, great, it's gone. It's not going to be visible at all. But the nature of the internet changing so much means that, as you said, legitimate websites might be acting for a while to get through the categorization, then make a change. And suddenly we have this real-time option. To your 75% point, I've heard that time and time again about things loading up differently. If we're already removing that categorization layer for the majority of content, it means it's 75, or with our models, much higher than that, of already a fairly small percentage of browsing, which is going to really increase that accuracy that the student is experiencing. And I think that is critical when we want to give the experience to the teachers to be confident in the material that they're going to share with their class. So
Yep,
I'm really
absolutely.
excited by it. I've seen it in action. It's pretty instant. It's absolutely just it's a flick of the page. It's you're not even loading the content. Once it catches that thing in the header, down it comes. Loving it. Can't wait to see that one coming out, Matt.